Hey guys, this is Asad Siddiqui again. I'm the owner and developer at iDesignSmart.com. And in today's video, I'll be showing you how to work with the new, latest, and greatest Fusion Builder to build your pages with the Avada theme. So I did a video a couple days ago, and that video was the overview, and that tells you how to get set up with the latest Avada theme and how we touched on the basics of how the Fusion Builder works. But while you will be making page layouts, it is important for you to understand in detail how these different elements work, and we will also preview what are the different options or different widgets or different pre-built elements that are available to you. I would also like to touch upon the import functionality for individual pages. So if you look at my previous tutorial, what you will see is I was working on this site that I am on, iDesignSmart.com/tutorials, and we imported the sample content for the whole page. So that is one option to create page layouts and import the site, and you can use that when you are importing the whole site as opposed to a single page. The next option that I'm going to show you, it will be to how to individually import the options, and we will customize the content according to our needs. So what I want to do is to create like a simple layout. There will be a heading, a separator, maybe 3 columns of different services that I offer, and we'll do a parallax section, and that will hopefully give you a fair idea, maybe something with font awesome, and that will be good to get you up and running, and you'll be able to follow it step by step. So without further wait, let's jump right into that. So what I've done here is I have the same site that I had, and I can clean up everything. I didn't clean up intentionally before I started this video, so I can show you how to do that the easy way, or at least my way. So what we can do is simply edit that page. What I do to wipe off all the options or all the content, not the options, will be to use the default editor. It'll give me everything as a shortcode, and I'll basically just get rid of everything that I see here. So I could have done Control A to select everything and then just hit the delete key. So basically what I've done is cleaned out all the content that my page had. Now if you recall from my other video, I'll also have to get rid of the slider. So what I can do to get rid of the slider is simply select no slider for the slides. As you can see, the template that I'm going to use is still 100% width as opposed to a default template, because I don't want any margins on my home page. So I'm going to work with the 100% width, and I'll just update this page. So once I do that and refresh my page, basically we should see a blank page with only the header that has a menu and a logo, and that can be configured from theme options, and I think I went over it on my previous video. So I'll just refresh the page, and you'll see that the slider and all that is gone, and I want to go in more detail. So all you see is a copyrights bar in the footer, and you see the header, and both of these things can be configured from the options panel, and we will start building on the page. So the first thing that we want to do is to put the slider on the page and maybe change the slider a little bit. So to do that, what I need to do is, like I showed in the video, there's a free slider exchange. You can download whichever slider you want. I just imported a sample slider. I'm gonna open it in a separate tab. So once I open that slider in a separate tab, I can change the slider. So I'm gonna click the slider again and open that in the editor, which is the Revolution slider editor. So as you can see, they have 4 slides, but they have disabled the other 3 slides. So basically only 1 slide is visible to you. And if you want more details on how to edit individual slides in the new Revolution slider, I do have a video for that. It is in my channel, so you can just go ahead and look at the video tutorial. However, I will edit the slider slightly here. What needs to happen is this is a layer based approach to display graphics. So once you have to modify a layer, all these layers can be edited separately. What you want to do is to just click on it and it's selected. Then you can click on this little edit icon, or you can duplicate it or delete it or resize it. So what I want to do, or simply double click on this layer and it will display the text and HTML that is inside of the layer. So instead of that, I will just say and here I'll say and then I can simply save that slide, or I can also go in and change more layers. So I can go in there. I think that makes sense. That also makes sense. So we don't need to edit any of that. This slider can also gives you the option to edit these individual images. So these are also different slides. And you can play around with these layers. As I told you in my other video, I go over how to edit the different styles and how to like animate things and how to put hover effects on it and how to put backgrounds and boxes and that type of stuff. So I go over different type of sliders there as well, but the bottom line is that we have a slider. So I'll assume that we have a slider and we have the slider saved, and I'll go back to my page and that refresh the page. So because I already had the slider, but in your scenario, if you're importing a new slider, you won't have the slider. So once you do that, then you should see a slider in your Revolution slider settings. So as you can see, mine is already set to web product dark hero, and you can specify the position and if you want to display the Avada style on the slider. What the Avada style does is it puts a little image which is kind of a transparent shadow image, so that will just start displaying behind your slider. So it puts a little shadow type of transparent image on there. So while this is updating, so it updated and we can go ahead and refresh our page here. Once we do refresh the page, then we should see that the slide has changed, and as opposed to there, and I see a slider. So this is nice. So all my changes are getting displayed. I'm working with the right slider and the right page. So next thing I want to do is to add a section with maybe three columns in it, and it'll have some of my key services. So to do that, what I want to do is the first thing I will do is change to Fusion Builder, because I want to show you how easy it is to work with Fusion Builder and how quickly you can set up columns and completely responsive site. So you can actually add a container for anything. You first need to add a container. Now you must be also noticing some of the things that you can do in the new Fusion slider. Per page, Fusion Builder supports per page custom CSS, which is kind of new. Before you had to do everything global, but now it's easier for you to use if you want to use custom CSS. However, that's another topic, so we will just continue on our way to build our 3 columns. First thing we want to do is to add a container. Once we add a container, it asks us how many columns we want. So we can select 1 by 3, 1 by 3, and 1 by 3, which gives us a container with 3 columns in it. So for every column, what I want to do is I want to put in some text and an image. So to put in some text, I had prepared a text file from my own site. Looks like it doesn't have anything anymore, so we will just go in there and grab some text like that, or maybe we should search for something on Google. So while it is actually it should come up any minute. So there you go, I've already visited that. So what we will do is grab this paragraph like so, and we will come back to our editor. So in this one we'll add the element, and now you can add any element you want. For the 3 columns that I want with a heading, I believe text block will do. A lot of people complain that I use text block a lot. The reason that I do use text blocks a lot is that it gives me flexibility to use shortcodes inside of it, and it also is easier because it's the default WordPress editor. I'm also looking for font awesome. So one of the new features that I did go over, this search, so you can type in a few things. So this is only an icon. Let's see what other choices we have. Maybe content boxes. Content box is a good one, so we can try a content box and see how it works. So let's go with the first content box and edit that. So once we go with the first content box, my heading goes here. So we'll say custom web design, and the context box, we can make different colors of the content boxes. I will just keep it transparent for the time being. And here I do have the option to put up an icon, so I can put up any icon I want. Maybe a star icon will look nice, or a thumbs up icon, or any icon for that matter. So you can select. By the way, another nice feature will be you can search in these icons by typing in what you are looking for. So you can say graphics maybe, or come up with your own terms and be creative. I don't think it found anything for graphics design, so we will just have to live by whatever they have. For font awesome, I will just go with a star for right now. So that is done, and then I come back to it. You can also rotate the icon. You can keep the icon spinning at all times, so you can select yes. You have total control on the icon color, so the icon color will be that, and the icon background color will be green because that is set up in my theme options. And then the text can actually go here. So I already have the text. I like to go in the text view and do that. Here also, as you can see, the shortcodes are available to you. You can put a slider, you can put whatever you want. Now this is a lot of text for a 1/3 column. So what we will do is do that, and maybe a couple lines, or 3 lines will be good. So the couple lines here I think will be nice, and before that we'll put a nice heading. So we will do something like, I am doing a h2 for a heading 2, and I will say so that is the whole column that I'm going to put with an icon on top of it. If you want to put an image, by all means you can put an image. Let's see if I have something in the media library that I can put, and it is kind of small. I do not think so. So let's see if I have something in that tutorial directory. Maybe I'll put something from my portfolio. So I will just say that. So it is 1/3 in size. So the image, as you can see, is big. So the image is big and the column is small. The images will always get resized to fit your columns. So it is important, if you're going to go for a layout like that, to keep your images the same size so it looks, everything lines up. I don't need to resize the image here. I'll just insert that, and then I will go to the visual view and make everything center aligned. So by doing that, my text always looks centered on the screen. I will do that, and then I can say save. So then I can do the same thing. I will edit that, go back, go to text view and grab all that because I want to reuse that. And actually here you can duplicate it, so I will just go ahead and duplicate it. Instead of custom web design, this will be custom page layouts. And the custom page layouts, I will use another icon. Maybe code is an icon that I might find. So it has this code icon that Avada uses as well. So I will just select that and say, oh, it got deselected. So now it is saved, and I'll keep everything the same, and I will just change the heading to custom CSS and JS, and I will I will change the image to something else too. So I will delete that, and I will add media here and upload files, select files, and maybe this will look nice. So once that is done, I should click on the insert new into page button, and I should be done with my second column. By the way, if you are in the market to get domain and hosting, I do have my affiliate in the description, and I will appreciate it if you will use my affiliate and get a nice discount. By the way, I do recommend HostGator because I have had very good experience with them. So moving on, I duplicated the third column as well. So in here, I will just, okay, I had to click on this icon, and in this icon, instead of custom page layouts, I'm gonna say mobile apps. So that is also something I like. So here we'll put a mobile icon. And say save, and we'll keep the rest of the things the same. So we have a 3 columns layout, so I can save it. And if you want to oh, I had a 3 content boxes like that. So what I'll do is I will just duplicate this 3 times and drag one of the columns here, one of the columns there, and the content boxes. Right now I have multiple, so I can edit that, get rid of the second 2, and here I have the second, so I will get rid of the first. Oh, I will get rid of the first and the third, and there I will get rid of the first and the second. So now I have 3 content boxes in 3 columns. If you want to put a background behind these content boxes, by all means you can edit that. But when you edit it, you'll get different options like general, background, and design. So these are very well categorized options. As you can see, they are not a lot. In general, you can set the set column heights to equal, which I like to do. You can set the 100% interior, which what it will do is it will not have any padding when the column starts. So if you want to do that, you can do that. If you are on a single page layout like I am, and you want to navigate to it from your menu, then you will need to put a name of a menu anchor as well. The next item is what screens you want to configure it for. So you can do mobile, tablet, and full screen. Background, you can select a color, you can select a background image, and if you do select a background image, you will have parallax options as well. So I think that they only get visible once you have an image here. So I will just, for the sake of it, go ahead and select something. So let's select that, insert into page. And once you do that, probably the background position. So background position, you can select center, background repeat. You can select no repeat, or however you want to repeat it, horizontally or vertically. You can do a fading animation on it. If you want parallax, then you have the options to make it fixed. So fixed on desktop, non-fixed on mobile, you can select different types of parallax here. So this is the most commonly used one. So if you would like to have the parallax, you can go like that, and you can also enable or disable it in the mobile. You also get the option to select the speed on the parallax. So right now I will just go ahead and show you how it looks without the parallax. Maybe we will do another section on the parallax. And design is more about padding and margins, so how much spacing you want for your content and the container. So the columns and container will have some spacing, so you can control that, the top, the right, the bottom, and the left. So you can, there's the same way you can also specify margins. These you have to specify without a px in them. So I will just go ahead and save, and this should have no backgrounds at all, and just my content with the headings that I have. So let's update it and take a look at how my page looks at this point. So that is done. I will go ahead and refresh the page. So there you go. So I have 3 icons, and with 3 headings. I don't think I needed these headings, or if I did, then I can make the icon larger, and then I can use the headings, or maybe use some padding. And I think the text here is all displayed, but it's white in color, so that's why you cannot see it over a white background. Maybe it will be a good idea to change the background color. So I will just make it like that. So we'll go back to our page and we'll edit these content boxes. I will edit that element and edit that element. So box layout you can change. So you can make it clean layout, vertical, or classic icon on side, classic icon on top, as opposed to icon with title. And that way you your content will have the heading. If you don't want to put the heading and use a different style, by all means you can use a different style. So that I want to make the background color of this container greenish, so we can see text over it, and I will just put the color code in here for that green that they had and see how it looks. So actually white text should be visible on it, but we will see how that looks. So now my page has updated, and I will just refresh the page. So now the first column will not have the heading, and I think it will display the classic. So you have an icon and then you have a heading. Now this icon is animated, so when you hover over the icon, then things change. So in the same way you can do the other two as well, or I will go ahead and make it bigger to make it look more prominent, and maybe use the same style on the other ones as well, because symmetry is really important when you're doing web design. So things should look symmetrical or same size. That is one tip that I like to share with you. Now let me figure out how to change the size on the icon. So I will search for the size. This is the title size, and I will do next, and icon background inner border size, that's not it. Icon background outer border size, that is not it as well. And icon size is right there, controls in pixels, so I will just say 30 pixel. So if I say yes and say update and look at my page, you should see some changes. So what I wanted to show you was how the images got resized over here. So now you can see the star is much bigger than the other two icons, and I can go back and like make it maybe 50. So that might be a good starting point for us. I'm sorry I'm wasting a lot of time, but I do want to make sure that my design is presentable, so I'll just double the size, maybe 60 pixels. And my thing is classic on top, and I will, while I'm at it, I will edit that and go down. And maybe we need more spacing, so what I like to do is I do div. So you can put something on inside of it, so I'll just use blank space for the time being, but you can put style and padding in here as well. It might be an option in the container as well, but because it's between the elements and text, that's why I do not want to use that. So for the time being, I will, instead of duplicating that, just duplicate that a couple times so you get the idea, and put it there. Drag this guy into this column, so now I should have a decent 3 columns layout. Refresh the page, and now I should have like these 3 columns, and these 3, for my liking, the padding is way more than I would like, so probably you will need to make some adjustments there. So now what you see is a nice 3 column display with a green background and a white text on it. Now next thing I want to show you is Parallax Images, and what we will do is add a container to our design, and we will make it half and half. And no, actually we would like to make a single column layout, so one by one. What we will do is put a parallax image in the background, so I will go ahead in the background and upload an image that will work well with the parallax. Now it is tricky to pick up images that will work nicely with your parallax, because the text has to be like readable when it's scrolling over the background. So you want to make sure that your text and picture will go well. If you don't have text and all you want to do is the picture, then parallax will not make a lot of sense, so you will just put a section without any parallax image on it. So currently I'm getting a HTTP error because max input size on my theme is not set up. So I will just select something that I have and maybe insert that in the page, and then I will put some white text on it to show you how it looks. Instead of no parallax, I'm gonna say fixed to desktop, and then I will just say save, and then we'll need a whole bunch of text to make it look display the image behind in the background. So I will just go there, and then I can open a text block, which is my favorite element, and go to the text view and put in a bunch of text. Now in the visual, I don't know how this text will be styled, if it is white by default or not, or there is something to it. So I'll make that centered, and that gives me the style tag in here that I can control the size and stuff like that. So that is also something I wanted to show you, so I will update for it for the time being. And then we will go ahead and take a look at our page. So we have the 3 icons, we have the slider, we have the 3 icons with 3 pictures and some text. Then you see a parallax image. Now not a lot of this image is visible, and the amount of text that goes on it will determine how much of the image is visible. But as you can see, the image is fixed and the text scrolls over it, so that is the parallax effect for you. So now what we want to do is maybe have some more text, or make the text bigger and maybe white for it to be visible. So what I will do is change this color to white, and I will make the font size for this particular case 1.2 em, so that makes the text bigger. So this all is not actually updated in the theme, it's just my browser. So now you see that more of the image will be displayed. Now let's try how the 1.3 em will look like. Maybe like that. Maybe that is a better option. So we'll do that and we'll add some more text to it. So we can copy these and we can go to our edit page, go to the second section, and wherever our text is, so we'll edit that, go to the text view and stick that style or CSS right in here. Okay, and before doing that, we can do a h2 and we can put a same style tag here that we have in the other one. So we also want to make the heading white, so that is the reason why I'm putting a style tag in here. Now you can do all this without any CSS as well. So you will need different elements, so you can use a title element and maybe change that with spans or something, like style the title element, then the text element, then the picture element. But certainly it's more quicker for me to do it this way, so I choose to do it that way. But it is absolutely true that if you are willing to invest the time, then you don't have to know a lot of CSS. However, if you do know a little CSS, it's always in your advantage. Now if I refresh the page again and bring it back from the server, we should see my changes. As you can see, this was not a great choice, because no, actually it is displaying pretty nicely, so it was a good choice. As you can see, my h2 didn't get the styles that I was looking for, and for some reason I guess it didn't save it. So we'll go back and take a look at it. So my style didn't get saved, so I will go back and copy that. If you have a syntax error, probably I missed a quotation, and if you have a syntax error, then it's not going to save. So that's also a good thing, because you notice this straight away and your HTML is not broken. So you do that and refresh the page, and now you should see a parallax image and a heading and some text. So there you go, you have a h2 center aligned, and then you have some text, and then you have a parallax image. Now if you had also, I would like to maybe add a couple columns with full width and make them color boxes. So what I can do is simply add a container to my page. I can make it half and half, and this time I will edit that. I do not want a background in my container. Instead, I want the columns to have a background. So I will say 100% interior width, yes, set columns to equal height, yes, and that is pretty much what I want. And then I can go in and style my columns. So I will go to column properties, column spacing, you can make it 0px for the time being. And the center content, I can say yes. Hover type, you can, for the background you will need a design, so you can choose pick and choose any color that you want. Maybe that's a good color, so I will just leave it at that and say save. Then I will do the same thing for my other column as well. So I will basically duplicate it, delete the first column, and then I will go in and change the color. So design, I don't think it saved my changes, so it has my changes, and if I get rid of it and duplicate it, then probably looks like my duplicate is not having these changes. Oh, it is getting the changes, so I must have missed something there. Going back to design, from that I will go to that and say save. And then for the elements I will have some maybe picture or something like that, so I'll add an element and I will say what should I say? So I should say maybe an image frame. That is also a frequently used element, so in that one I'll put a image frame in and display some image that I have. So in the image frame I will put that, insert page, and then frame style, you can change that. You can change the effects on it, you can change the border size if you want, and you can specify a border radius if you want circular corners. You can do the same thing here, so instead of that picture maybe I'll use some other picture. You can also use a slider in here, so I will search for rev slider. So there's a widget like that, and there you can select dark hero 3, maybe I don't know what that is, but I will just select it for the time being and save. Actually, on second thought, as I said earlier, symmetry is super important, so I want to make this as the same size as that column. So you can put text that will align with it better, or in this example I can just duplicate the whole thing and show you how it's gonna look. So I will clone the column, and now I have those two columns. So I will update it and refresh my page. So once you refresh the page, you should see two more columns come in, and they have, like, at the top is my slider, then you have these three icons, and you have these parallax images, and then you have these two images which kind of zoom in. So what that is because I had 0 column spacing between these columns, and the column had a background image, but there is no padding, so that's why you don't see the background image. If you want, you can change the container color here to black, or you can reduce the content inside of the column. So here I think it'll look pretty nice if I go to the background and select a color to be black and save. So I think this gives you a good idea on how to set up your pages and how to design them quickly with the new Fusion Builder. It's a very powerful tool, and it'll enable you. The best thing that I really like about that is the responsive pages that it brings. So you can bring pretty nice responsive pages. I don't think that it took my changes for whatever reason. I think there is some padding defined by default, which causes it to not, like 20 pixels is what you are seeing. So if I do 0 pixels and 0 pixels, probably it'll get rid of the margins. So I will save that there, and this container might also have a bottom padding, so we will have to get rid of that as well. For the time being, I'll just refresh and see how it looks. The point is to just show you how it's gonna look when the background is black. So let's see if we can make that happen. So you see the space between the columns gone away, but the container is not being displayed as black, which surprises me on why, but I might have to leave that because I'm running out of time on the video. So background, for some reason it didn't take my black color, and we had to go over. So my transparency is not set, that's why. So save, and update, and now I'm pretty sure that you'll see a black color. We just got rid of the content padding on the container. So now your images kind of look like that there is no space between the image, and they have a zoom in style set, so the image zooms in. I'll refresh it again, and now I think you will see a black background in the column. So there you go, you do see a black background, and you can get rid of the any padding or however you want to do it, but I think you get a good idea of how to work with the Fusion Builder. Now the next thing for you to do will be to explore the different widgets that are available. So like all the counter boxes, the flip box is a pretty nice one. It actually flips. I use it in the other thing that other tutorial that I made. You can certainly use sliders. You can display a blog post like that. Separators is used for spacing, and you can use some WordPress ones as well, like user lost password, widget areas, and YouTube videos and testimonials. So it is pretty nice, and you'll have to put in a little time to explore how these things look. Now another new thing that they have is called nested columns. So within a column you can have more columns, and then more columns can have more widgets, but this is nested only to a single level. So you mean only one column can have two more columns, but those two columns cannot have more children. So it is a one-to-many relationship. So only one can have more, but many cannot have many more. So it is the column in the true sense is not recursive, but still it works and serves the purpose. Now what you see here is page option, which I explore in the other tutorial that I made. And I think for the page layout, this will give you a fair idea of how to go about Fusion Builder and what kind of options are available. Now the other thing that I desperately want to show you, and I'm super excited to show that to you, is I can wipe out all the content again that I have on this page. I will actually do a Control-A and delete. So everything is wiped out. I will update the page, and then I will show you how to import individual layouts from the Avada Theme Fusion. So Theme Fusion packaged a bunch of stuff that you can reuse. So I will leave the slider as is. So I will use the slider here, and then I can go to the library and actually these are my own containers, my own columns, my own elements. And if you go to the demo, then I have a bunch of stuff available, like I can import pages. So I can select which demo I like. Maybe I like Avada Church, or maybe I like something, whatever, landing product. I like landing product. So then I have these pages, and I can click on this load button, which displays a warning. And once you do that, with a click of a button, it's going to import all the content inside of the page and set your styles and whatever content it has. So you have the ability to work with multiple or different demos at the same time on your site. So for example, if there is some demo and you like some page from it, you can import it right into your installation. So that is pretty cool. And I think for the images they use like placeholders. So now if I refresh it, you will see that all my elements will be gone, and you will see a completely new page. Now if you do that, then of course you'll have to tweak options and things like that in your theme to make it look kind of nice. So you can see the slider, and then you have like the layout that the particular page had. Like this is the layout that they had on that page. So now you have all that content, and you can easily go in and replace the images as you want, and the images, as you can see, are placeholders. So you can go in, and for example, I will just show you one. So for example, the first one here, there is some text and a heading and an image right there. So they also tell you what's the size of the image. What I will show you is you can go in there, find where it is, and maybe change it with your image. So I can remove that, upload image, and then I can use one of my images. So if I insert that into the page and say save, quick and easy, no problems whatsoever. So you can update that, and you see that my template has changed now to the default. So I don't like default, I like 100% width for the homepage. So what I'll do is I'll just go in and make this 100% width as opposed to the default template, and that will expand my columns to the width of my screen. So I just refresh the page. This has a lot of content because I guess the other page that I imported is also a single page website. And you see that my image is being displayed now, and you go down, there are 4 boxes which I really like. I think I used it on my site as well, and you can see how their icons are styled, and if you want to use the same styles, by all means you have the options and they're already done for you. So this is a pretty nice layout. A lot of hard work has gone into that, which they are giving you to use for free out of the box without having anything. You just need to pay for the license, and you are getting a great theme. So that is pretty much it about for today's tutorial and my demo. If you are in the market for buying a license, I do have my affiliate link in the description. If you would like to contact me for theme customizations, I have very extensive experience with Avada. And do subscribe and leave your feedback because it's really important and it helps me create different videos on different topics. And my Facebook, my contact information, and my website will be in the description of the video. And thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Thanks.